I don't think we become smaller overnight. I think we become smaller one abandoned moment at a time. Think about it. Somebody interrupts you in a meeting and you decide not to ever speak again. Someone laughs at an idea that you shared, and without realizing it, you stop sharing your ideas. Someone says you are too emotional, and slowly you stop trusting what you feel. Nothing dramatic happened. No earthquake, no life changing event, just one moment where you quietly walked away from yourself. If you do that often enough, your world starts becoming smaller. Smaller dreams, smaller conversations, smaller relationships, smaller risks, smaller life. Have you ever noticed? Children don't think like this. A child falls while learning to walk. They cry, they look around, someone smiles, holds their hand, and what do? They try again. They don't decide walking is not for me. Somewhere along the way, we stop doing that. One rejection, I'll never speak again. One heartbreak, I'll never trust again. One failed business, I am not meant for this. One difficult conversation, I'll stay quiet. We stopped returning to ourselves. I often think life is not asking us to become fearless, it's asking something much simpler. Can you stay with yourself even now? I remember the first time I ever got on stage as a young kid. From the outside, I probably looked calm. Inside, my heart was racing, my palms were sweaty, my breath was shallow, and for a moment, I thought, maybe I'm not meant for this. Today, I understand what I didn't understand back then. My body was not telling me to stop. My body was simply preparing me for something unfamiliar. And there is a huge difference. One of the beautiful ideas from yoga psychology is that suffering doesn't only come from what happens to us, it comes from our identification with the experience, the meaning that we give it. The Yoga Sutras use the word Asmita, the tendency to mistake an experience for who we are. Think about it. I failed becomes I'm a failure. I was rejected becomes I'm unlovable. I felt afraid becomes I'm weak. Can you see what happened? The experience lasted a few moments. The identity lasted years. And every time we mistake an experience for an identity, we become a little smaller. Modern neuroscience says something remarkably similar. Your brain is constantly asking one question: am I safe? Not am I happy? Not am I successful? Safe. When something unfamiliar happens, your nervous system doesn't immediately know whether it's an opportunity or danger. So, what happens? Your body reacts first. Your breathing changes, your throat tightens, your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, and then your thinking mind arrives and creates a story. See, I knew this wasn't for me. But what if the body wasn't asking you to retreat? What if it was simply asking, will you stay with me while I learn something new? That's the part we rarely learn. Nobody teaches us how to stay. We either push through or we run away, fight or flight. But there is a third possibility: presence. Sometimes I ask people, when you feel uncomfortable, who leaves first? Many people think it's the other person, but often it's us. We leave our breath, we leave our body, we leave our curiosity, we leave our truth long before we leave the room. And I think this is where emotional capacity grows. Not by pretending that you are okay, not by forcing yourself to stay positive, not by becoming tougher, but by staying one breath longer, one moment longer, one conversation longer, long enough for your body to discover I am safe. Not because life became easier, but because I didn't abandon myself. There is a beautiful Sanskrit word, sthira sukham. It is often translated as steady and easeful, not rigid, not collapsing, steady, soft, present. I love that Because I don't think emotional capacity is about becoming hard. I think it's about becoming steady enough to remain open. Can I show you something? Not an exercise, an experience. Right now, wherever you are, don't change anything. Just notice your jaw. Is it relaxed or working hard? Notice your shoulders. Notice your tongue. Notice your breath. And then, without forcing, let your exhalation become a little longer than your inhalation. Nothing dramatic, just one slow exhale. And we do it again. Do you feel that shift? That was not positive thinking. That's not mindset. That was your body receiving a different message. We are okay. Every time your body experiences safety in the middle of discomfort, it learns something new. Maybe I can stay. That is how capacity grows. Not all at once, one experience at a time. Now, you might really be wondering, is one breath enough? No, one breath doesn't change your life. One breath changes your relationship with the next moment. And that is where life changes. You see, our lives are not shaped by big decisions, they are shaped by thousands of tiny moments that nobody else ever sees. The moment you decide to ask for help instead of pretending that you are okay. The moment you decide to rest instead of proving your own worth. The moment you decide to stay present instead of disappearing into overthinking. Those moments don't look dramatic, but they quietly expand the person that you're becoming. I often tell people don't measure your growth by asking, did I stop feeling anxious? Ask a different question. Did I stay with myself a little longer today? Because that's growth, not the absence of discomfort, the presence of yourself. Let me tell you a story. I recently got back to swimming after many years, and I thought it'll be a beautiful experience. But what I didn't realize that the water was not my challenge. My own challenge was my own breath. The first few minutes, my mind wanted control. My body wanted certainty. Everything inside me screamed, this doesn't feel normal. And the more I panicked, the more difficult it became. Then something fascinating happened. I stopped fighting my breath. I began to trust it. And my body began to settle. My vision began to widen inside the water. And suddenly, the same water, the same pool that felt frightening a few moments ago becomes magical, becomes a place of relaxation. Was the water different? No, I was. And I often think life works exactly like that. Most of us are trying to control the water when perhaps the invitation is to learn a different relationship with our own breath, our own body. We have all heard the word prana from yoga. People often translate it as breath, but prana is much more than oxygen. It's aliveness. It's your life force. It's the movement of life through you. And when we spend years protecting ourselves, holding our breath, tightening our jaw, contracting the body, not only do we fail to reduce stress, we also reduce our experience of aliveness. And maybe that is why, after a long holiday, or after a beautiful conversation, or after sitting in nature, people say, I finally feel alive again. Nothing magical happened. Their system simply stopped preparing for danger long enough to experience the life. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if we stopped asking, how do I avoid discomfort? And started asking, what kind of person am I becoming through this experience? Because every uncomfortable conversation is teaching you courage. Every honest boundary is teaching you self respect. Every failure is teaching you humility. Every uncertain step is expanding your relationship with life, provided you don't abandon yourself halfway through. And I think that's the real practice. not meditation, not breath work, not journaling. Those are beautiful practices. But underneath all of them is one deeper practice: returning again and again and again, returning to your breath, returning to your body, returning to your voice, returning to yourself. Because every time you return, your body learns something profound. I don't have to face life alone anymore. There is a reason I call this work body voice, not body, not voice, but body voice. Because your body is constantly speaking through the breath, through your posture, through your fatigue, through your excitement, through your tears, through the tightness in the body, through the heaviness in your shoulders. The question is not, is my body speaking? The question is, am I listening to my body? And then, once you have listened, comes the second half. Can you speak the truth that your body has been trying to tell you? Can you say, I am hurt, I am afraid, I need help, I am exhausted? That crossed my boundary. This matters to me because every truth you don't express, your body eventually stores. And every truth you gently express creates a little more space inside of you. Maybe that's why expression feels so freeing. Not because it changes the other person, because it changes your relationship with yourself. So, if you ask me, how do I expand my emotional capacity? My answer is surprisingly simple: stay, breathe, listen, express, and repeat. Not perfectly, but consistently. Capacity doesn't grow in one breakthrough moment. It grows on ordinary Tuesdays, in difficult meetings, in honest conversations, in quiet mornings, in moments when nobody is watching. I think we've been sold the idea that the transformation is dramatic. I don't think it is. I think transformation is deeply ordinary. It is choosing curiosity instead of certainty. It is choosing one conscious breath instead of one unconscious reaction. It is choosing to stay connected with yourself even when life feels uncertain. And maybe that's what freedom really is: not a life where nothing difficult happens, but a life where nothing difficult has power to disconnect you from yourself. As we come to the end of this conversation, I'd leave you with one invitation, not a challenge, an invitation. Sometime today, when you notice yourself getting tense, before you fix anything, pause. Take one slow breath, relax your jaw, feel your feet on the ground, and quietly ask yourself, can I stay with myself for one more breath? That's all. No pressure, no performance, just one more breath, one more moment, one more opportunity to remind your body we are safe enough to stay present. Because every time you do that, your world becomes slightly bigger. Not because the world changed, because you did. I don't believe we are simply here to survive. I believe we are here to experience life, to love deeply, to create boldly, to laugh freely, to grieve honestly, to explore curiously, to rest without guilt, to stand in the awe of a surprise, to feel the ocean, to dance, to build meaningful relationships, to become fully available for this extraordinary gift called life. And perhaps that's what emotional capacity has been about all along: not carrying more, but creating more space for courage, for wonder, for grace, for life itself. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if this conversation resonated with you, let me know in the comments, where in your life are you being invited to stay instead of abandoning yourself? And if you would like to continue this journey with me, I would like to invite you to my live masterclass where we explore emotional capacity, the body, the voice, and what it truly means to create a life that feels deeply meaningful. If you would like to connect with me one to one, I would leave a link below. You can also connect with me on my Instagram handle. It's the same as YouTube, Shape Spice, ShapeSpice, and follow me on Spotify on Limitless Lounge. If you like this video, please hit that like button, share it with somebody who needs it, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Until next time, take care of your body, trust your voice, and don't measure your life by how little you feel. Measure it by how fully you're able to live. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.